Hey everybody, it's Tara again, reading out of my Faces of Autism book for the month of April. I'm just doing a quick little reading every day to, frankly, pass the time and do something creative. So I'm putting these up each day this month in honor of Autism Awareness Month and all the special people that I know and all the special kids in this book that really marked an incredible, joyful, creative time for me. So I had photographed the children, I think almost 5 years ago now. The book came out 3 years ago. And it was just such a awesome project. And so for the month of April, I just wanted to do something to kind of honor that. And frankly, we're in kind of an upside down world right now. So why not put a little light out into the world? So today I'm going to tell you about Jared. And this is one of my very favorite pictures in the book, this one of him tying his shoe. And I often use it as, I print it up really big, and I use it when I give talks to school groups or business groups or whatnot about autism. And I use it as an example because it's how someone can surprise you, and that you have to kind of look beyond what you see on the surface to understand how remarkable it is what he's doing. So this little simple act of tying his shoe really has struck me, and I use that as a really good example. And Jared's taught a lot of people a lot of things about autism because of that. So let me read his story and then I'll kind of fill in the gaps. The one word to describe Jared is beautiful, and that was picked by his mom and dad. So meet Jared. He wasn't really into doing photos with me. Most of the kids weren't. He was way more curious about our surroundings, and I don't blame him. We were in a beautiful nature park, lots to see and explore. But I'll be honest, I was struggling as a photographer to capture his true nature because I wasn't quite immersed in his world yet, and he wasn't interested in mine. And then he stopped. He stopped to tie his shoe, and it took my breath away. The light, the surroundings, the pure innocence of this childhood milestone, it was so natural and beautiful all at once. Do you realize the importance of what he did by stopping to tie his shoe? First of all, he was self-aware. He was acting independently and determined to do it all by himself. And if anyone here has ever taught a child to tie a shoe, you know that's no easy task. But he sat there and did it with a sweet smile on his face as he went about accomplishing his task. No frustration, just determination. And that's what I found beautiful. I'm going to just show you real quick again. You see that little smile on his face? That was the first time he made any sort of smile in the session. So that's what kind of stopped me. He finally had let his guard down and he was not anxious anymore. Prior to that, like I tried to photograph him in a couple of different places. And Jared's a kiddo that is used to, or at the time was used to wearing noise canceling headphones a lot, so that it kind of drowned out all of the sensory stuff for him. And so we had those off for the picture because of course we're trying to make, you know, a beautiful picture. And so instead he kind of kept putting his hands up over his ears, and then mom's, you know, saying, put your hands down, and dad's saying, put your hand, and I'm trying to get him to look over here. And it was too much. And I could sense that. I took a few pictures just to kind of get him used to what we were doing. I know there was some pressure that his parents felt, just because I'm a photographer photographing him for a book. And I think there was a perception that, you know, he wasn't cooperating, and oh my gosh, and I was like, let's just stop. Let's just take a little walk. Everyone can take a breath. We're at this beautiful park. We'll just walk around. And it's a technique I use a lot with families anyway, when there's kind of that power dynamic going on with parents and kids. And taking the pressure off and just taking a little walk kind of lets the kid know that, okay, I don't have to perform right now, and I don't need to rebel against my parents' wishes. And it just kind of lets everybody take a breath. So we did that, and all of a sudden Jared stopped in the middle of the path, and I thought, oh boy, we're here. I've lost him completely, right? Like this session is really not going to happen. And I was already thinking about ways to reschedule it because he just wasn't into it. And I didn't want to force him, because that's not what I want to do, right? I wanted to show Jared as Jared and making sure that he was happy. So No, he didn't stop and like throw a tantrum or flop down or anything. He just stopped to tie his shoe. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. I kind of made everyone clear out because I was like, first of all, the lighting was beautiful. I knew he was being, it was just such a sweet moment. It still is like one of my favorite pictures. I don't even know how to describe it. So anyway, let me go on and finish this section here. What his mom described how amazing Jared is. Many people love working with Jared or having him present in their life. And although he won't initiate interaction much with others, his presence is calming. He's very easygoing and makes you realize that it's okay not to stress out. He doesn't have many worries in his life. She went on to describe his superpower. Many people have said to us over the years that they see light and peace in Jared's eyes. Oh yes, there is an old soul in those eyes. He was very peaceful and calm during our session. It was beautiful. And then her words of wisdom, do what you think is best for your child. You will receive a lot of unsolicited advice from people. You know your child, they do not. Also, surround yourself with people who have a child that has similar traits to your child. Knowing people who have been there is key. It's imperative to be able to lean on each other for support. And lastly, whether you are with a partner or single, make sure you carve out time to do something fun with your partner and by yourself. Oftentimes, it seems like everything you're doing is related to autism, and your entire world shouldn't be about autism. I think that's really, really good advice. You know, that whole self-care thing is, it's important to take time for yourself on all of that. Anyway, that's Jared, and like one of my favorite sessions. I don't know, how can I say that? Like they were all really awesome sessions, and I'll probably say that about everyone. So thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.